Okay, everybody, here we are on part 2 of the Threadripper 2990WX Hackintosh. Okay, we're going to do some benchmarks. We're going to start with Geekbench 5 and see what this thing can do. So let's get started. Okay, so we'll let this go across and we'll come back when it's done and get the scores. All right, guys. Okay, guys, here we are. 1041 on a single, 10,209 on a multi. Now, this is not mind-blowing scores, okay? If you go down here, 1041, we're at like MacBook Pro from 2018 and i9. Now, single scores on a Threadripper like this are not going to be mind-blowing because what you're dealing with here is a 32-core, 64-thread processor. So where this processor is going to shine is under a heavy load, and we're going to see that in the future benchmarks. Okay, so let's go back to 10,209, 10,209, so let's see where we are on that, 10,209. Now this is a healthier score. So we're right here. This is a Xeon iMac Pro 2017, 14 core, and an iMac Pro, also a Xeon. So here is where we're starting to see the numbers increase, okay? Very close here to the Mac Pro. All right, now this is good. Now, let's go ahead and crank up. We're going to overclock it and see what kind of scores we get. So let me go back into the BIOS. I'll be right back. We're going to overclock it. Right now we're at 3 gigahertz. We're going to clock it to 3.8. Okay, be right back. Okay, guys, so we're in the BIOS and I want to go under advanced frequency settings. Okay, now I'm going to hit the up and down arrow keys to adjust my clock. So I'm going to take this all the way up to 38. All right, right there we go. So 3.8. Now we'll go out of here and we have to adjust some voltage settings. So let's change this to 1.2. Okay, that should give us enough juice to get this overclock score running. All right, we'll boot her back up and we'll go back into Geekbench and see what the scores are. Okay, guys, we're back up, and if I go over here to About This Mac, we'll see we're at 3.8 gigahertz. So let's go ahead and run Geekbench 5 again. And let's see where we are. All right, be right back. Okay, guys, so here we are. Now notice when I did the overclocking, we got a lower single score, but we got a higher multi-score by 600 points, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. But you're going to see something amazing. So let's go to that multi. And so, yeah, it's a little better. It's more like this iMac Pro 14-core Xeon. So we're almost to the Mac Pro, the 12-core one, which is about, I don't know, I think it's around $12,000. Okay, so Geekbench I'm not massively impressed with. So let's try Cinebench. All right, let's go ahead and get on Cinebench right here. Open it up. All right, let's see what kind of score we get here. And this is a completely different story. Oh my God. This is insane. Look at how fast this thing is. See, this is what I'm talking about. For graphics, this is a monster. All right, let's see what the score. Yeah. Right there. 12,926. Okay. So that is literally the same numbers as this Xeon 60-core processor. So these are scary numbers, right? These are amazing numbers. And you see here 3.8 gigahertz. Now I did this same test running it at 3 gigahertz and the score was 11,000 and some change. So we do get a bump definitely in Cinebench. All right, let's get out of here and let's get into some real world, okay? Okay guys, here we are. Now let's go ahead and do Logic. Now, just to give you guys an update from the last video, trying to run Logic on Ryzen's, Logic runs beautifully, no problems at all. But if you remember, if you watched my last video about these, I couldn't get the Waves plugins to work. Well, there's a gentleman at Waves that is working with me to get the plugins to work on these Ryzen Threadrippers. So stay tuned for that because we're still working on it, okay? But let's just get into this and see what this can handle. All right, so let's go ahead and do our load meter. Let's launch that, and you're going to laugh when you see this. Is that enough right there? Is that the biggest load meter you've ever seen? All right, so let's go over here and check our settings, our preferences, audio. So we're going to do 64. This is the I/O buffer size, 64. And we're at 24-bit. We're going to go over here to recording settings and let's put it at 48. Okay, let's do 48 for right now. Okay, so if you guys don't know, on this benchmark that you can download on the internet, it has a sculpture which is a synth. So it has a VSTi virtual instrument on each track, okay? And this is a total of 128 tracks. On each track, it has an EQ, a multiplier, chorus, an auto filter, and a plate reverb, just so you know what's going on right there. All right, so here are 50 tracks at 64 buffers and 48K. So let's just run this and see. Okay, so not even 25%. So that is scary, unbelievably good. All right, let's just, let's not play around. Let's throw all 128 tracks at it. Turn them on. Okay, and let's back it up and hit it and see where we are. Okay, so we're at about 50%. Now, if you remember, on the i9 9900K, we were maxed out at 100% with 128 tracks on this same test at 48K. Now, for all you guys that have to record at 96, let's hit it and see. So we're going to go over here and we're going to change our project to be a 96 kilohertz project. There it is, 96. We're processing, and there we go. All right, so let's go out of here. Let's go out of here. Do you think it'll run all 128 at 96? Let's try. Okay, I'm listening in the headphones. Everything is crystal clear. It is handling it. So you guys know what a load that is. So that's pretty impressive. So that will give you an idea of the power of this computer. It's pretty amazing stuff. If you ran this thing down at 48, if we switched it back over to 48, you could run 256 tracks without an issue at all. Look at that. That's just incredible. Really incredible. All right, guys. So let's move out of here and let's get over to some graphics programs. So let's go ahead and run Final Cut Pro. Now you guys know we have this little benchmark test that's on the internet, and everybody seems to do this Bruce X test. Now I'm going to get a stopwatch on Google. Stopwatch, there we go. And I'm going to put it over here on the side so I can hit it. All right. So here's our little background task meter, and I'm going to master file default, and we're going to set it to Apple ProRes 422, and the resolution is 5120 by 2700. I'm going to click next and then click start as fast as I can. All right, let's see what happens. Save and click. And here it comes, here it comes. It is done. So 16 seconds, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Excellent. All right, so let's go out of here. And I want to run this Davinci Resolve. Now, Davinci Resolve really takes advantage of a powerful system like this. And I'm going to show you. I had a friend of mine help me with this. And this is really impressive. Okay, so I'm going to open up this test project right here. Open it up. Now, this footage is 6K footage, and our timeline is also 6K, okay? And these are DNG files, so these are raw files. Now here it is there is no color correction on this at all, okay? So there we go. Totally smooth. Totally smooth. Everything's wonderful. Now I have another one here that I'm going to turn on. And this one has color correction on it, okay? And I'll show you right here, right there, okay? So this raw footage has been color corrected, and I'm no video editing guy, so I can't give you all the fancy terms. But look how smooth that is. Look at the water. See how smooth that is. It's really amazing. Really amazing. And what they tell me is that is very hard to get to work. Now, this gentleman has a MacBook Pro 2018 with the i9 processor, and it has the Vega graphics, and he cannot play this. It looks like it's in slow motion. It's jittery. This is 100% silky smooth. So I know all you video editing guys are going to run out and buy a Threadripper now. Okay, let's go out of here. Okay guys, so now I'm going to add a little bit of noise reduction. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm not real good at this, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to put it on better, and I'm just going to crank this up to, I don't know, 2.2. All right, so I just have temporal noise reduction on here, and let's see what it did to it. Okay, we definitely have slowed it down, but how many of you guys can even see motion on your computer when you apply noise reduction? So I would say that that is pretty impressive because it's not really stuttering that much. If you look at the waves right here, it's really kind of fluid. It's just slower. So let's see, go back here. And I'm not using the right words, I know that, so bear with me. But pretty impressive from what my video editing expert told me. Now if I try to put on another noise reduction, that is going to make it even more difficult. Let's turn that on. All right, so now we have 2 on, and you see it's slowed it down some more. Let me go to full screen. But it still plays. It still plays. So I think that's amazing results for all you guys that do video editing. I think that you're going to be super happy with that. And the GPU graphics card just kicked in, so it knows there's a load. All right. Okay, let's go out of here. So that gives you an idea of how awesome this thing is, playing 6K video on a 6K timeline. And I don't think many guys out there can even play 6K with a 6K timeline. So let me know your thoughts down below. Love to hear. All right, so we're done with that. Now, we did do some renders right here. And to render this clip that is about 14 seconds long, it took 14 seconds to render it. Now, when we added 2 graphics cards to this, we really didn't get any better results. But when we did 2 graphics cards with noise reduction, we went from 1:42 to 1:17. And that's with 2 Sapphire Graphics 5700 XT cards, full metal support, and both computing. So just to give you an idea, you don't get, on this particular setup, you don't get double the performance on with 2 graphics card. You don't get, half the results. Now the CPU on this, let me go ahead and turn that on for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and play this, and you can watch this right here. Here's Davinci, and the GPU is going to kick in just a second, and you're going to be able to see the percentage. Okay, now playing this 6K video on a 6K timeline, we've got 47% of the GPU being used. Now, let's turn on that noise reduction. Let's go back. Right here, let's turn this back on. All right, same settings. Let's go back and turn this one on too, just for the heck of it. All right, so now we'll play this, and you're going to see our GPU crank up. There, 71% of the GPU is being used to play this 6K timeline with 2 instances of noise reduction. So still not bad. You guys out there that are pros, you know what this means. I have no idea. I just know it's fast. All right. Okay, one more test, guys. I want to do Adobe Premiere. The video I did on this computer yesterday, I edited it on Adobe Premiere, and I want to show you the difference in render speed. Okay, so I'm going to open up my project. All right. So here it is. Now, when I rendered this yesterday on a Ryzen 5 3600, it took just under 30 minutes. So let's call it 30 minutes to render. Okay, if I go over here and I did the full render time on this and it came out what it said here. All right, I am rendering at H.264 and I am rendering at 2704 by 1520. Okay, so when I export this, it comes down to 11 minutes. So it went from 30 minutes to 11 minutes on this Threadripper. So that's a Ryzen 5 3600, which is not a bad processor, but to this Threadripper, this clocks down to 11 minutes and it finished. So I am thoroughly impressed. Now it is expensive. I'm not gonna take that away from you. It is expensive, but for you guys that are pros out there and you need a machine that is this powerful and this massive for computing, for video editing, for whatever you're doing, this is amazing performance. And this is a Hackintosh, guys. This is a Hackintosh. All right. So there we go, guys. What do you think about this? Is it crazy? Is it too much? Do you need more? I don't think you can get much more. You know, this would be the equivalent of the most expensive Mac Pro you could get, except for it only has 64 gigabytes of RAM. We never ran into a situation where we needed more RAM with the video editing stuff. So RAM was not an issue. But there we go, guys. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And guys, we'll see you on the next video.